Welcome to Middle Math Academy's Distributive Property level number 4. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. Let's get started. Before we get started, go ahead and rate yourself 1 through 5 on our targets, 1 being the least confident and 5 being the most confident. At the end of the lesson, we'll come back and rate ourselves after we've done some practice. Let's go ahead and get started with some examples. Our opening says, draw a model using the distributive property, then write an equivalent expression. Let's zoom in on example number 1. All right, when we're drawing a model, we can think about the number on the outside of the parentheses. This is our coefficient. We can think of it as telling us how many groups there are. So in this example, we have 3 groups of C plus 5D. So when we're drawing our model, we'll start by just drawing what's on the inside of the parentheses. So we have 1C and 5D. Make sure you're writing with me. And since we have 3 groups, we're going to repeat that 3 times. C plus 5D. C plus 5D. Now I can see that we have 3C plus 5, 10, 15D. And that will be our equivalent expression. You cannot combine them together to make 18CD. You have to keep your variables separate. Go ahead and try example number 2 on your own, then come back to the video. For example number 2, we have 4 groups of 2A plus B. So I'm going to start by drawing 2A plus B. There's one group. It's another group, and we'll repeat this 4 times. Now I can easily see that we have 8A plus 4B. That is our equivalent expression. And remember, it's a common misconception to think that you can combine these to make it 12AB. Okay, you have to keep them separate. Think about it like 8 apples, 4 bananas. You can't combine them and say 12 abanas. That's not a fruit. You just have apples and bananas separately. So go ahead and complete example 3 and 4 on your own. This video will not go over those. Let's take a look at some notes. We've talked about how the distributive property and the coefficient can tell us how many groups of terms we have. Another way to think about the distributive property, if we're not drawing models, is that the distributive property means multiplying the number on the outside of the parentheses. Okay, so like in this example down here, the 10, we'll multiply that times each term on the inside. So remember, parentheses means multiply. That's something you need to memorize. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need more time. Let me show you an example of the notes we just took. Okay, so our number on the outside is 10. That's what we're going to multiply. We have 10 times 2h is 20h. I'm going to bring down my plus, and 10 times 5 is 50. That is our equivalent expression. I multiplied the 10 times 2h and the 10 times 5. Go ahead and complete example C on your own, then come back to the video. For example C, you should have multiplied 7 times 3c, which is 21c. We'll bring down our plus. If there was a minus there, you would bring down the minus. And we'll do 7 times 4b, which is 28b. This is our equivalent expression. Final answer. Remember, you cannot combine your different variables. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page. Then, if your teacher wants you to, check in with them to get their feedback. Go ahead and complete A and B on your own for page 2. Then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for example A. Check your work for example B. Complete the rest of page 2 on your own and check in with your teacher if they want you to. Let's take a look at page 3. Go ahead and complete A through F on your own, then come back to the video. Let's take a look at problem G. I know that parentheses mean multiply. So I can multiply 7 times 10, and that'll give me 70. So I also need to multiply my coefficient times a number to get 49. Well, 7 times 7 is 49. So 7 goes in the blank. Once again, 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 7 is 49. Go ahead and complete problem H, then come back to the video to check your work. In problem H, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times, oops, not 3, 2 times 6 is 12. Go ahead and complete the rest of page 3 and check in with your teacher if they want you to. Let's take a look at the top of page 4. Our notes say you can simplify expressions by combining like terms. Make sure you're writing with me. And you can only combine terms that have the same variable. So if there's more than one A, you can combine all of your A's, you can combine all of your B's, and so on. So let's look at this example right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. We have 2 times 3A plus 4B plus 5A. So now we have 3 terms, but we're still going to treat it the same way. We're still going to multiply 2 times all 3 terms. So I'll start by doing 2 times 3A, which is 6A. Make sure you're writing with me. Then I'll do 2 times 4B, which is 8B. And then 2 times 5A, which is 10A. Okay, so this is similar to what we've already practiced, except now we had 3 terms. Now that we have this, I can look and say, oh, okay, well, I have 6A and then another 10A. So because they're the same variable, I can combine them to make 16A. So now I can rewrite this as 16A plus 8B. Let's practice another one. Let's take a look at example A. We know parentheses means multiply, so we're going to multiply 5 times 5H, which is 25H. Bring down our plus. 5 times H is 5H. Bring down our plus. And 5 times 5J is 25J. So we distributed our coefficient and multiplied it by each term on the inside of our parentheses. For our equivalent expression, we're going to combine our like terms. So you can only combine terms that have the same variable. So I can combine 25H plus 5H, since they both have H, and I'll get 30H. And then I'll bring down the plus 25J, and this will be my final answer. I can't combine this anymore because this has H and this has J. They're separate variables. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page, then check in with your teacher. Go ahead and complete page 5, then come back to the video. This video will not go over A through D, but I do want to take a quick look at problem E. In problem E, we don't see any parentheses. We're just adding terms. So we're going to combine our like terms by combining all of our S's. So 9S plus 11S is 20S. Bring down the plus. And then 15 doesn't have a variable, so I can combine that with 10 because that also doesn't have a variable. 15 plus 10 is 25. So here's one answer. But since it says select all, I know there's going to be more than one answer. When there's an exponent like this, that means it's multiplying the base over and over again. S times S times S times S. And that's not what we're doing here, so that's wrong. Okay, let's check this last one. Whenever there's parentheses, it means multiply. 5 times 4S is 20S. And 5 times 5 is 25. So this is also an answer. Now that we've gone over those, make sure to check F, G, and H. Then, if your teacher is directing you to, get your teacher's initials. Go ahead and complete all of page 6, then come back to the video. This video won't go over all of the problems, but we will go over common misconception problem A. Check your work for problem A. To close out this lesson, make sure to answer our debrief problems. In your own words, what did you learn today? How much effort did you put in during class? Rate yourself 1 through 5. Explain. And what do you think is a common misconception or a common mistake a student might make on today's lesson? Once you've answered our debrief problems, at the beginning of today's lesson, on page 1, we rated ourselves before the lesson. Now that you've gotten some more practice, go back to page 1 and rate yourself after the lesson for our learning targets. 1 is the least confident, 5 is the most confident. Once you've gone back to page 1 and finished this page, get your teacher's initials if that's your directive. Thank you for joining us today at Middle Math Academy, where we practice distributive property level number 4. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. If you're looking for any additional practice, make sure to check out levels 1, 2, 3, or our most challenging level, level number 5. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.